Howdy, Shasta College, Humanities 2. Um, I'm Rex Thompson, your humble instructor, coming from you from my studio where I do my painting and play my music and burn my house down. The whole house is on fire. Oh, here, hold on. Hold on, let me check this out. God damn it. Sorry. Sorry about that. I lit a candle and the whole half of my table just caught on fire. But I'm okay, kids. Don't light candles at home unless you've got a good clearance. Okay, where are we? Here we are, Humanities. We're starting in. Hope you guys have joined the discussion. Hope you've looked at the syllabus. Please go through that syllabus. Says everything you need to know. What we're going to do, how we're going to do it, what we're going to cover. But because we're starting a month late, we're not going to be able to cover all of that. I'll probably cut the first month away. Whittle at it. We'll get into some cool stuff, believe me. But essentially, this course covers 400 or 500 years from the Renaissance, Shakespeare, the art of Van Gogh, the writings of Shakespeare, the writings of Cervantes. That's Don Quixote, for those people out there who don't know who that is. And composers like Mozart and Beethoven, we cover all that. We cover just about every major art form, from painters to writers, playwrights, composers, musicians, filmmakers, film directors, poets. We try to cover it all for the last 400 or 500 years, the things that make us who we are as humans and that connect us all. Hopefully, you've had time to look at the little documentaries I've posted. I posted one, it's a TED Talk, a woman explaining the what humanities are and how they're important. A lot of students don't even know what humanities are, but hopefully by the time we're done with this, you'll understand, and you'll understand the importance of them and how man's greatest accomplishments are through these art forms. They're not through warfare, defeating countries, or suppression, or politicians, but it's the art that shapes us and is meaningful. There is a textbook to get. This is what it looks like. It's the second volume, not the first. The first volume covers earlier than this. This is our times we're covering. It's all there in the syllabus. My suggestion, if the bookstore doesn't have it, which they really do lately, seems like, with all the supply shortages, is go on the websites for Chegg and rent it. I try to keep the expense down. You could get one of these on Amazon, a used one for under $20, or you can rent it. I'm not going to sign any readings and for another week, so I want to make sure you guys get the book. I'll be talking about the book. The textbook will help you get through the course. It will give you it will just listening to my lectures is not enough, because I can't cover everything the book covers, because I'm going to try to keep these lectures for 20 minutes at the most, because I know you guys get bored of all this and I don't want to bore you. in the syllabus. So the textbook's important, folks. Find a way to get it. I'll post this on announcements with different outlets to get the book. Oh, wow. Anyway, um, the key to this course is I'm always going to be lecturing, not tonight, because this is just our introduction. My next time out will be Thursday. I'll try to do 2 of these a week. These will be posted in modules in Canvas. So please look at them, take notes, pay attention. If you pay attention to these lectures, if you look at my announcements, I'll try to keep a discussion going. This week I have introduction, introduce yourself, say a little something about yourself, a little or a lot, and then comment on another student's um, introduction. And so I'll try to keep, there's going to be a combination of discussions, which is part of your participation. We're not in the class together, so I don't take roll call. I don't know when you're checking, it's up to you. I assume you're doing this. You're in class, and so here we go. And this is the new virtual world. I'm used to it. I haven't been in a classroom now in 2 years. Shasta College shut down March 2000 years ago. At least my classes. I know there's some classes out there. I also teach at another school called National University, so I'm usually juggling about 4 classes. So when you want to contact me, my number's there. And yes, I gave you my private phone number. Don't abuse it. Text me. I'd rather have you text me. Tell me who you are and what class you're in. If you just don't have a name or a class, I won't know who you are. And so please tell me the class you're in. Make sure you tell me your name. Or you can email me at rexhaas@yahoo.com. I don't put the Shasta College one in there. You can email me there, but I check my private email more frequently. And it's okay to email me there with your questions and your observations, your complaints, the whole bit. Um, when you look at the syllabus, you'll notice that part of the grade participation is a thing called a journal, a reflection. I'll be printing samples of that soon. You'll see what it looks like. But essentially, it's a journal entry for every week of the course, a paragraph long or so. And in that paragraph, it's like a diary. My suggestion is you do not wait to the last. You enter it once a week, put it, save it on a doc, a Word doc, or PDF. It's not open. You will not hand it in to the last week of the course, which is in middle of May somewhere on. And then you'll have an entrance for every week that you paid attention in the course. It's a shortened course this time. I don't know how many weeks it is, 12, 13, something like that. And so you'll have that many entries, and there'll each be a paragraph, and it'll be what you read, what you saw in a video or a documentary I ask you to watch, what I spoke about, and here's the important part: not just that, but what you got out of it. That's the reflection part. Could just be a sentence or two. Express yourself. I will show you an example later. Don't panic about it now because it's not due for many weeks. But do keep notes. Don't forget what you're doing. Don't wait to the last week of school to try to remember everything. You will not make it. Also, if you miss some classes, you miss a week, let me know. Just say missed it. If you miss 4 or 5 of those, you'll be losing some points. That's too many. So that's part of your participation, it's part of your attendance, and it lets me know that you've paid attention, got something out of the class. We'll talk about it later. You're going to be doing essays in this class. I don't know how many yet. because it's a shortened class. And I've got to deal with that. It's usually 8, but now it's probably going to be 6 or so. And there'll probably be and the essays are all going to be critical analytical essays. They're not going to be your opinion. You're gonna take a topic, whatever it is. It could be Pablo Picasso, the artist, and you'll be writing. You'll probably have to do some reading, some research, maybe watch a documentary, and you'll be writing a critical critique of this person's life, the artist. Do you know who Picasso is? And usually I'm going to ask the same question: why do they matter? And it's not why did they matter, because they're long in the past. These people are all dead. Why does Shakespeare matter? Why does Shakespeare still matter? He's been dead for 400 years. So I'm always going to say, why do they matter? What's the, try to figure it out through your research, through your readings, through the documentaries, through my lectures. I'll be talking about all these guys in pretty good detail. If you pay attention, hopefully I hit on why they matter. Still 500 years after they created their greatest works of art. And we're still looking at it, still trying to figure out how they helped shape the culture, how they reflected the culture, what was going on in the culture. And that's the other thing this course covers. I'm always going to be looking at how did these artists, whether Shakespeare or Mozart, how they captured the zeitgeist of their culture that they were living in at the time. That's really important. Think about some contemporary person you like, whether it's a musician, maybe a movie maker. I don't know who you guys like. I don't. We'll get to know each other through this virtual. Maybe you don't pay attention to arts at all. Do you read books, novels? Do you read poetry? Do you go to plays? Do you go to movies? Do you listen to music? Did you watch the halftime of Super Bowl? Why was that culturally significant? What do you think that had to do with things? Why is the Super Bowl upsetting so many conservatives? The halftime of Super Bowl. Been in the papers. Why do you think that is? Well, it was a hip hop Super Bowl. And there's a lot of people out there, mostly white privileged people, who still don't understand that culture. And they're still bothered by it. And they're frightened of it. Because people are usually frightened of the other. And I'm going to try to emphasize in this class that there is no such thing. We should not be frightened of anyone if we understand them. Do you want to be understood? Do you want people to be frightened of you? Of course you don't. No one does. And so, all these great artists we're going to be covering were always, most of them, in their lifetime, some of them were misunderstood, some of them were totally understood. We're still trying to understand them to this day. Nobody wants to be misunderstood or put in a box, a category of the other, whether it's uh, a sexual thing, or it's a racial thing, or a political thing, or you're not from this country, or whatever it is. We're all here together, folks, in the melting pot. We're all stewing together. So, I'm going to ask you to look at in your essays what's going on in the culture when these great people lived that made them do the great work that they did, and also how did their work reflect back into the culture? How did they influence the culture? And they did. They still are to this day. And that's what I hope you get out of this class, some understanding of their cultural significance. Okay? So, you're going to be doing essays, and then there'll probably be a quiz. I'll figure that out later. It'll be an essay quiz also. Don't worry about it now. It's not going to be till towards the end. But it'll be there. And you might have to do a final research paper. Don't worry about it yet. And that's it, folks. And it's all about the cultural significance of whether it's hip hop or Nirvana or punk rock or Mozart or Beethoven or Pablo Picasso, Van Gogh, Shakespeare. We're going to be in cool company. It's a lot of information. I'm not going to jam information down you guys' throats. This book has got a ton of information that we can't cover. We're going to do the best we can. Okay, this is the first lecture. I'll post 2 of these a week, usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Like we're in the classroom together. You know how to get a hold of me? It's in the syllabus. And there's a great thing, there's a great line at the end of the syllabus. If you get to the end of it, it says, the syllabus is subject to change, because then that gets me off the hook for not sticking to it. And sometimes we might have to improvise some stuff. That just makes it, it's not predictable. Don't worry about your first essay. It won't be due till next week. Don't worry about this week. This week is you're getting accustomed to Canvas. Hopefully, you've been on Canvas before. Hopefully, you understand the virtual world well enough. A lot of students still don't like just being at the computer. I understand we're not in the classroom together, but we're doing the best we can. If you need to meet with me, just give me a shout out. We can meet on a Zoom call, FaceTime call, or we just meet on a phone call. I don't care. It's up to you. But I'm available. Just give me a heads up, and we could talk about whatever. So my office door is always open. But it doesn't mean I'm there, but it's always open. What else is here? A little something about myself. I've been at Shasta College just for 6 years. I've been teaching at other colleges since about 2006. I'm a late bloomer. I spent most of my youth pursuing my dream about being a film director. I studied film at San Francisco State. Film is my passion, my obsession, as is music and anything creative. And I'm also a writer. My master's degree is in creative writing. I've written novels, plays, screenplays, still pursuing that. Never stops. The written word is really important, as is the cinematic word of the camera, as is whatever noise you can make out of an instrument. All this stuff has shaped my life. I spent many years living in LA, writing screenplays and trying to pursue that. And then I moved to a little arts community for many years called Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I got to write and direct some movies out there. It was a great experience. Had a great rock band out there, Scary Elvis. And then later on, I moved up to Portland, spent about 7 years up there, and made a movie up there. Um, wrote some plays, stage plays, always doing that. I'm working on multiple things right now besides teaching. That's how I make my living. But right now I'm working on a documentary, personal documentary. Also working on, hopefully, I could pull this live performance thing I've been working on. If I could find enough help, money, performers to do it here in the great Northland. Um, and hope you guys are happy to be in the class. Thanks for being in the class. Enrollment's down, so we couldn't start, but now enrollment's up. It's trying times of the pandemic. We get it. is trying on all of us. We're doing the best we can. Hope you guys are staying healthy and involved, and keep your passions burning bright. It's up to you to do that. No one else is going to let you do it. You have to do it yourself. With that said, that's it. I'll shut up. I'll see you in a couple days. Welcome to the Humanities.